All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Boogie Down Bronx, Queens, or Staten Island, my homeborough, Brooklyn. Back out with another video. I know it's been a while, but I'm back here to talk about this whole Lamar Jackson situation. You know, it's very real funny. The Atlanta Falcons, the Raiders, the Redskins, the Colts, all these teams who are in the market for a quarterback, all of a sudden don't want a former MVP in Lamar Jackson, 26-year-old MVP Lamar Jackson. Of course, you know, some of the detractors say, oh, it's because he's injury plagued, he hasn't finished the last couple seasons, or he comes up small in the playoffs, or all this nonsense. All this stuff. I mean, of course, some of it, there's validity to some of that, but still, he's a 26-year-old former MVP of the NFL. Okay? I mean, guys like this don't come available. I mean, MVP quarterbacks in their 20s don't come available on the free agent market often. Okay? Not at all. Okay, and guys like RG3 and JJ Watt have alluded to the fact, and I believe Richard Sherman as well, have all alluded to the fact that there's might be collusion amongst NFL owners. And I 1,000% agree with those guys, all three of them. Collusion in the NFL and in other sports, but particularly NFL, has been going on for decades before Lamar Jackson. Owners have colluded against players trying to get big-time contracts. You know, superstar players trying to get big-time contracts in the past. You know, Kirk Cousins got a fully guaranteed contract. Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed $230 million contract. The NFL owners don't want that becoming the norm. They don't want that becoming the norm, even though of the three major sports, the NFL has the weakest and the worst player association of the three. Not even close. I mean, the contracts these dudes are getting considering that they take the most damning. Look, none against the NBA, none against Major League Baseball, but NFL players get the most beat up of the three. And the fact they're making the least amount of money compared to the three, it's like, what? But then, of course, some of this is the players' fault because they agreed to the CBA, and the players fold quick. When these strikes have happened in the past, whether it was 82 or 87, the players fold quick. They fold absolutely quick, so really some of this is their own fault. So it's kind of hard to feel bad for them, but, you know, at the same time, it's like, come on, bro, really? Like, y'all need to grow a spine, stand up, and stand strong and not fold like little bitches so quick. But, you know, DeMaurice Smith, who John Gruden infamously called the Michelin Man in an email. Oh, man, that shit was funny. I don't care what nobody said. That shit was hilarious. But John Gruden's a character. He recently spoke out how he believes NFL owners are colluding against Lamar. And I agree with him. I mean, really, it's kind of like hard to deny that they aren't. Like, once again, the Falcons needed a quarterback. They're certainly not interested in Lamar Jackson, and they go after Taylor Heineke. Like, are you kidding? Taylor Heineke? You know, the Raiders, they went after Jimmy Garoppolo. They were in the market for a quarterback. They went after Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, granted, Jimmy Garoppolo has gotten to 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl, so that's kind of reasonable. I heard the Lions GM, Brad Holmes, said we're sticking with our guy, Jared Goff. Lamar Jackson is better than Jared Goff, okay? Granted, now I do understand if Lamar goes anywhere else, a team has to give it their first-round picks. 2 first-round picks, but for a guy like Lamar Jackson, I believe it's worth it. I mean, can you imagine Lamar in Detroit with, what's that kid's name? DeAndre Swift, the running back, and then the receiver, Jameson Williams, and Amon St. Brown, I believe that's his name. And that young stud, Aiden Hutchinson, you know, shit, the Lions got something very special. If you had Lamar Jackson to that, you know, you could, I mean, I'm not saying a Super Bowl team, but, you know, you could become contenders in a way. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to go to the Super Bowl and win it, but you could become contenders. I mean, the NFC North, your only real threat is the Vikings. I mean, the Bears, they've gotten better this past offseason, but let's get into this Lamar Jackson thing. NFL owners accused of foul play in Ravens quarterback negotiations. Yeah, the relationship between Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, it's done. In early March, the Baltimore Ravens placed a non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson, which meant that he could speak with other teams during free agency. However, if he were to reach a deal with another team, the Ravens would have a few days to match and resign him or take the team's draft picks instead. As of now, it seems that no team is interested in even talking to Jackson. The NFLPA Executive Director DeMaurice Smith is not pleased with the draft and franchise tag systems, saying that they restrict the market when it comes to free agency. Smith believes that the NFL draft and franchise tag system exists because owners have colluded in the past to both depress and restrict markets. This time they are criminally gaming the game itself. I agree. Again, NFL owners have been doing this before Lamar Jackson. They're going to do it after Lamar Jackson. Unless these guys are in the next CBA, they stand strong. They get their balls out of their purse. They don't fold like little bitches, and they hold their ground. Lockout, work stoppage. So what? So what? If you want guaranteed contracts, I mean, to get stuff like that, you got to make sacrifices. Moreover, Smith pointed out that teams are not reaching out to Jackson at all since being tagged. The rumor out there is that Jackson wants a fully guaranteed contract like Deshaun Watson received by the Cleveland Browns following the share from the Houston Texans. Excuse me. Smith is surprised that the Baltimore Ravens and other teams have made such a point to say they are not going to compensate Lamar Jackson with a fully guaranteed contract like Cousins or Watson. Smith slams NFL owners for not wanting an MVP caliber quarterback. Smith first said that he has never witnessed teams be so quickly announce their lack of interest in an MVP quarterback who was in his prime and who is also going to get an injury guarantee regardless of his contract. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get hurt playing football. Okay, I play football. No, everybody plays football. You're going to get hurt. Okay, period. That just happens. Now, granted, some guys are more injury bitten. They're more bitten by the injury bug more often than other players, but, not everybody's going to be, Derek Brooks and not miss a game in his career or whoever, guys like that. He believes that the NFL are basically colluding by not speaking to Lamar Jackson as a message to any other players who try to get fully guaranteed contracts. Exactly. They also did that to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, he pulled an NBA. In the NBA, guys like Kyrie Irving and so on, other guys, for example, have threatened owners by saying, I'm going to sit out and not play the season. I'm going to get surgery, so I sit out the rest of the season unless you trade me or give me the money. Anthony Davis did that. Kyrie Irving threatened to do that when he was trying to leave Cleveland, go to Boston, or trying to go anywhere but Boston. And Deshaun Watson tried bringing that bullshit to the NFL, and they made an example out of him by opening his file. Because that is what happened. These guys opened the file on Deshaun Watson, or, some say paid some of these women to say these things about Deshaun to ruin his rep. So look, we can talk about that another day, but these owners are trying to make an example out of Deshaun and Lamar Jackson. And once again, it's on the players. Next time you guys have the next CBA, don't fold like little bitches. Demand what you want. If the owners don't want to agree to it, hold out, protest. Okay? They did that in 82. There was a strike in 82. There was a strike in 87. Those players folded. Don't make the mistakes that they made. Strike. Hold out. Work stoppage. While Watson and Kirk Cousins may have gotten fully guaranteed contracts, these owners will not allow them to become the norm, which is unfortunate given the amount of the money the league generates every year. Once again, the NFL has the worst PA. Again, I blame the players. They have the worst PA of any of the major sports. I mean, look at some of these contracts the baseball players are getting and that the basketball players are getting. Now, granted, I know baseball, they have 162 games, and basketball is 82 games. The NFL is only 17 games and 18 weeks. But still, these guys should be getting money like that. Well, maybe not like the baseball guys, but they should be getting NBA-type money. Because the NFL is the most popular sport in America. I know baseball is, traditionally called America's national pastime. It's not anymore. It hasn't really been that since the 90s, since the end of the steroid era. But, anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Basketball kind of ruled in the 80s and in the 90s. It was right there in the NFL in terms of popularity. It was right there with the NFL and, baseball. But, historically, the last, 40, 50 years or so, the NFL has been king in this country. The guys don't make as much money as, just in the NBA players. Again, they have a horrible player association. And the problem is these guys fold too quickly. But, that's going to be it on this. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think Lamar will stay at Baltimore? Do you think he'll end up somewhere else? Rob Ninkovich of the New England Patriots, formerly of the Patriots, he wants Lamar going to the Patriots. I don't see that happening. If that my jaw will drop to the floor if Lamar ends up in New England. But they seem to be content with Mac Jones, so I don't see that happening. I've heard the Colts. I've heard the Lions. The Falcons said they're out all of a sudden. The Redskins say they're out. The Raiders say they're out. Lamar, he may end up staying in Baltimore. We'll see, but tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Also, Lamar needs an agent. He needs an agent. Okay, he can't do this himself. He clearly can't do this himself. His mother sure as hell can't do it for him. He needs to get an agent. Okay, I get it. Some agents are shady and they're snakes and all. Lamar needs an agent. Okay, that's what he needs. If he had an agent, I believe this whole thing would have been resolved by now or be close to getting resolved. From what I've been reading, it's not nowhere near close to getting resolved. Had you had a middleman, I think it'd be close to getting resolved right now. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Subscribe. I'm going to see you all.